this off, and I think that's one thing EG has to do is set the pace against Loud. Push out, get in Loud's face, and don't let Sadak start to run the map.
Yeah. Wanting to fight right away, something that Ender has mentioned on this too, and you saw the first position, first contact towards A main, and there was that pivot towards this lane if it was needed, towards the B link. Jogimo in this jet roll position right by the Kench bench, but now Superman has that contact against Sadak.
Much slower first round than we're usually seeing. Teams have been rushing up Cat. They've been pressuring towards A main a little bit, and Superman not knowing there was already a push off.
And that's how you fight back. Velez turns around, instantly traded by nature. That now activates Loud to try to move in the B side. All denied by the crossfire setup of EG. And EG starts off very well with this pistol round.
Superman and Jogamo setting up a push in mid. No idea that was happening. Loud tries to creep through, doesn't work. A good read by Evil Genius is that Loud would take that slow and look for the outside extremity lurks. Big push by EG in mid, and Loud's gonna remember that. This mid wall here will continue to keep that pressure. We'll see if Les tries to tinker with it a little bit and give EG something to think about as these rounds go on. Loud's composition is very strong at flooding A. It'll be interesting to see if EG wants to stay in sight, try to stave off this attack of a Phoenix Molly, an aftershock from Kalinzine, Sadok's knife. It was very hard for Sentinels to do that. Superman starts off though, takes that Molly out right away.
You can even see the outlaw coming out of Jogimo. So you're seeing the positioning is quite different from EG as well. Out in the open, forced to open a little bit more forward to avoid the utility being thrown out from Loud. And that's some tells at least from how EG is going to be positioned here, as Loud will continue to lose a couple of players, but build this economy for their gun round in round number 3.
Taking space wherever they can. Mid round for round 1 for EG. And look at APOP was all the way out by that little outhouse, and now he goes back in. So figuring that they have to reset. EG playing it smart here to not lose any numbers, because they know Tui's and Kawazine can do some damage here. So just waiting this last round out. EG getting the first few rounds is going to feel good. Flexing over into the bonus is really what we're going to have to watch here for, because I think Kalinzine and or rather Sadak and the rest of the team are going to put a lot into this first buy round.
You're looking for active information. Again, forward position, this on the camera, spotting one of them. Well, you do have Tui's lurked up all in the middle. Derek was waiting very passively towards the spawn and is still watching it. So EG's making sure they're not getting backstabbed for now. We finally squeaked through. Derek finally senses it, turns around, still loses that fight against the Ghost. But APOP is going to slow things down. There's only 10 seconds left. Tui's with no HP, drop down, and EG, they score a pretty decent second round here.
Interesting to see getting that 300 to everybody from the plant was so important there. If they could just get into sight and get the plant down, they would have been pretty much fine with that. The win, obviously, would have been a huge boon, but a good hold by EG, not letting any of that happen. Staying very far back on defense, giving that respect required for Loud. So we get to our first purchase round here. Is Loud going to go for that shark attack on A? Where we're just talking about the site is flooded with util. It's nearly impossible to stay in it, especially with the low buy EG may have. They stay in the same defensive spots though here to anchor A with 3 players, knowing this is what Loud likes to run. So we're gonna try to meet it head on right off the bat here on this bonus round.
Tight angle being held on the A site. The pivot from Loud towards B. Recon dart avoided by Les. Allowing for EG to even bring a camera forward above the B door. As we're trying to find it for Les, this will be a great opportunity here to just waste that clock down, because if Loud does not want to make a move here, there you go. But Derek still has his drone, so he might start getting the position to use it here. But as the aftershock comes out, looks like Loud wants to execute in the B site right away. APOP repositioning on the left side of the cage, looking back, and as it comes down, he only has a ghost. Beautiful flash, but he can't get a kill. At least Derek is there to spam with the Ares towards the back of the site. Underhand flash, spotting Q6A, dropping him down. A 3-on-3 as Loud is still stuck on the lane, trying to move in the B site. Derek in the back, just trying to waste the clock down, waiting for his teammates to come in. A double jump down for Loud. As Jogable comes in from behind, though. 2 executions with the ghost. Tui's alone. Smoke is out. 1v1 towards the spawn. As he gets hit by the paranoia, Superman repositions again. And Tui's, he's gonna have to come up big here. Spike is down out in the open in the back of the B site. The other smoke disappears, the gun sticks out. Should be an easy kill. Took a bit, but at least got it done. Now pushing forward. Oh! Superman almost almost caught him, but Tui's pulls it right on time to get the Red Bull clutch.
And Superman has been him in these situations. Definitely a lot of pressure on Tui's there. Comes up huge, able to bring out the 2 frags required to get in there. And this was big. Going into the site, you could hear that the Viper gas was up. And the wall that they've been using as we watch the retake is really pressuring Evil Geniuses on Cat. 2 members of EG were still at Cat, wondering if this mid wall that Loud is using as they rotated to B was being pressured. Again, Loud throw this mid wall, and it's starting to play with the mind of EG here and whether or not somebody will be behind it. That's all you want. You want it to create that pressure. We get the Odin purchase out of nature, and he just keeps going. The ping's coming through, but that one too far away. Another Odin's everywhere.
Double Odin for the crossfire. All of Loud dropping like flies.
To Valhalla.
QCK and Calzine on different extremities, even getting a ping out on Calzine, falling back. Apoth is pushing forward. And now it seems as though your questions have been answered here, Ender. EG's here to fight back against Loud. QCK hit by the Paranoid, falling back towards the catwalk. Dropped by Joggimo, covering his teammate as EG scores a flawless round.
2 Odins and an operator? Imagine losing this round. You would be asking for a loan at that point. EG put so much into this round, and they have the utility to back up Odins on both sides of the map here. And the things you need to do is you need to be able to catch Loud off guard, because Loud come at you fearless. They say that. They do everything to play styles to meta. And you gotta shoot fearless. 2 Odins across the map with an operator on shore. They have locked down the defensive side there on that buy round.
Key thing for EG is that they always want to have fun here. It definitely shows until this time with that confidence, swinging out towards A main, punished right away as Joggimo falls, and that's up also down for EG.
They slow this one right down. It's still 3 for EG over towards A. Obviously, they've lost Joggimo now, but they continue to run this strategy. Happy with the retake it provides and how they might be able to stop Loud here. And now we're going to get to see how Loud activates into A. It's basically impossible to be in here with everything coming through, and EG will not. So retake here from both sides. See how EG takes to this. It's going to be a long flame check here by Apoth, so they have a little bit of time before they're diving into the site.
The first real test here for EG. What will the retake look like when you're playing such a default comp on Ascent? The Owl Drone getting nullified, but a null command set by Sadak down towards the generator. As Derek is trying to see if there's going to be a pinch around from the back. The late lurks were actually very prominent for Loud, but it's actually less, holding towards the Gelato with the off angle behind the chairs, wins that fight. And that dwindles down the chances of EG for the retake. Derek's trying to make it a little bit expensive here, spraying towards the hell, almost connecting into others. Kawadzin's low on HP. Tui's is at 1. You know this fight's gonna go off no matter what. But if you can make it expensive, you'll be happy with the results so far for EG.
It's a matter of time right before we see the null command come in from Loud. Sadak has always been the one that focuses the ultimate orbs when they get A main control, when they go to B, focusing up, being able to take the site and deny your opponents any of their abilities. And it took Loud this round just a quick step, right? One step faster than they have been a few rounds, and they actually catch an operator with QCK's Sheriff. So you can see just by the half second, by the millisecond, what's kind of changing these rounds, and that was a great opening kill by Loud to bring that conversion in their favor. Towards top mid, still working the same wall here, and it looks like EG's back to a bit of a pistol round. Stratus Derek lets loose. Looking to just sort around here on the side of Loud, which way they're going, see if we can get any tags. Still have the operator online for Joggimo with Blade Storm right behind that.
They're actually playing hopscotch there above the Hunter's Fury beams, and they stayed alive. So that actually is great for Loud to continue to hold that pressure towards the A main. As Sadak was looking up for that 1v1 against Joggimo, the one that usually lurks alone on an initiator roll, still wins the opening kill on the attack with an operator on the attack, nonetheless.
B main control again for EG. They're getting a lot for free, but Loud is figuring this out, so it may actually punish them. Superman with that 6th sense after a ping says probably more than one person there to try for the 1v1, and they back up into B, but that's more info. Derek's ready to just lace anybody that comes through B main now, and that sonar bolt is up.
Meanwhile, there was a knife being thrown by Sadak towards A main, so he's trying to draw some defenders from EG towards this A side. There's a smoke out there, a mid-round pivot from Loud, all the way towards mid, or run through the wall. But Superman could not even catch one. Les was solo on HP here, as Nature is going to look for the hero play. The underhand flash runs out, hit by the Paranoia. Beautiful read by Tui's and the rest of Loud. They'll get a plant here, as Apoth can't score. He's backstabbed. So far, you're looking at this. EG's been so good on the timing, but Loud has been quicker on the draw.
Even looking for Apoth there as Derek again from Heaven tries to get a few more kills in too. He should be able to find this. But yeah, looking for Apoth on the late lurk, right? They had sight and they said, there's no way Apoth's coming through spawn. Let's look for him now, and still we're able to find him. Loud has a bit of a read now on the game. They've gotten EG stuck in the pace that Loud wants to play it.
You have to be quick on the reaction for both of those oppers. And
that's
again,
wild.
It's really Loud winning these
Sadak
duels.
hopping.
The fast flicks for the kills, tying the game 3-3, putting EG in a difficult position in terms of economy. Only a Bucky in hand of Apoth solo anchoring the B side while you have this stack from EG. Bladestorm looking for aggression, potential trap play, the Paranoia, the pinch from both ends. Cusick and Tui's fall. Jogamo continuing the backstab here, but stopped by Sadak and Kawazin on both extremities. The shot's missing a bit, allowing Superman to get that backstab onto Sadak. Now he's alone, isolating one, turns around for the kill onto Les. And it's Kawazin alone at 3 HP. The TP away so he could meet up with Apoth. And EG in a great spot for a Thrifty.
Got the spike.
They got to know they've had to deliver the damage that's been done right now to Kawazin. Pressure on his shoulders. You have to imagine there's no way he swings this angle, right?
He's got a minute to work with. Well, now he's going to have to swing because that hack just came out. There's that second swing, and Superman is there.
Oh my gosh. Just the tiniest bits of information escalating the fight one after the other, but EG's able to come up with it. A lot of damage being done here, and EG's still dipping into the bank account to go for 2 Odins and the Operator. Incredibly suppressive across the map. You almost can't peek once you hear those Odins ringing out, and then when you do want to peek an angle, that's got the Operator on it. So Loud needs to use their utility to get everywhere right now. In spots they don't want to be using utility. We saw that happen towards mid. Sadak was able to get the op peak, and that's what it's coming down to. Just contact Operator peaks between these two. Let's see the start of this one again. The Odins ring out. And they are going to be faking a little bit towards A to start. Loud is, as they head now towards B. This main control, though.
Talking about with the contact and the kill. Apoth going backwards. Fadeaway call to QCK, and man, Loud cannot even move forward around the bend of Garage of the B main. The underhand flag for a double peek. Too easy for Jogimo. Kawazin.
My God.
As well as another flawless closed in by EG.
The way they trade these rounds, you're like, oh man, now this team's being read. Now the EG doesn't have it, and EG comes back with 2 rounds like that. It doesn't even look like Loud knows which side of the map is theirs, because EG's already on the offensive side from defense here, pushing up into the Odin. Something you usually frown upon, but Jogamo is absolutely feeling himself right now. An incredible 4K on the solid. The vibes are so good right now for Evil Geniuses after that. We are going to get a Loud time out to sort out how they can start to organize around 2 Odins and an Operator, right? Usually you're just fighting against utility, but you're not even seeing EG's util game right now. You're just catching bullets.
Also trap plays on Thrifties, as you saw from that push from the Bladestorm, and that was also not done behind a timeout from EG. They already had a game plan going through that one as, hey, if a Thrifty happens, if we have to eco, we might find a way to actually trap down Loud. And this is what I'm loving to see so far. You're not giving Loud an opportunity to really go for those big set executes that Loud is known for this composition.
Right.
Remember
No
when we
time.
talk about all those mollies and aftershocks and whatnot that's going on these executions against a team like Sentinels? We're like, oh my God, there's so much util. I don't know what to do against this. Well, they don't even have a time to set up.
Imagine they still try to go A. Let's put that on the table, is that they go A and one of these Odins is tree and you just shoot through the smoke and tree, right? And you still have the Sova if Derek is there. Once you need to get that retake going, they have a lot of solutions here just by putting the Odins in to what Loud wants to put on the table. All right, that 3-2 split. Loud's going to be over towards the right side. Hopefully, maybe faking a few people getting caught in the knife. and then faking it out. Loud has not had the same success hitting A here on this Ascent match.
Trying to double initiator pressure towards the A main. You saw the setup from Kawadzin here and Sadak trying to push down to see if the Opera's going to be close. And while you're working the extremities, something that Loud also likes to do in their defaults now, working those extremities. Looks like we had an inkling for Derek. Went for the spray through the wall and already drops less. That's going to make it difficult for the mid control right now for the mid round for Loud.
This wall that creates that kind of pressure all the time. If it's up, you have to wonder. No longer a care for EG, and now it's smoked. So you see Loud having to put different kind of controller utility there to keep that pressure up, keep EG thinking, and hopefully get the numbers correct on the A hit here.
They hit the leg shot there. Nature is spraying towards that tree, as you mentioned here, Riven. Tui's already falls. Not really giving a chance once again for Loud to cross in the sight.
What are you gonna do? Especially on the low buy.
Exactly. Low buy, Thrifty, trying to make the economy expensive against EG, but
One enemy remains.
EG continuing to be one step ahead. This shot missing, but the previous one was quite clean.
You can see though, Jog's feeling it. Like to go for quick
30
peeks
seconds
like
left.
that, trying to slide in and out. You know the player is feeling the groove right there. Backs up though, still plays it smart. Kawadzin,
All this a bait.
little guardian work. Yeah, Apoth always on the lurk.
Exactly.
Ooh.
Giving a chance here for Apoth to come behind, but he gets and gives all that information, the paranoia even, just to secure the kill.
Yeah.
EG trying to slowly actually trying to find their groove, and we're actually getting it here.
And it is the question of what can Loud do now? Because you're dealing with so much chip damage. If it's not a full member down, you are chipped down somehow by this EG composition and these Odins or however they're firing through smokes before you start. It's such an advantage here that they have against Loud in these situations. Again,
Good work.
stacking 3 straight up in the front of A. Like you said, Vance, not giving Loud all this time to set up what they need for the strats. They can't just source the ult orbs that they need. Quite a few ultimates on this round, so they won't need it. But this should be your Sadak running in, Rolling Thunder, and maybe even the Viper's Pit. So there's one.
Now they have to play shorties.
Great
Getting hit by
paranoia.
the Rolling Thunder. Jogamo trying to move in, a one and done pretty much. Manages to escape on time. Aftershock avoids it. Superman TP on the top. No command comes out. They can't cross through. Now on the top of the bricks, Superman is trying to close it down, waiting for Steven to come back. The fadeaway kill as he
Spike
drops
down
and
A.
finally gets traded off. A res comes up from Les. TP in the generator for Loud as they have the player advantage in the site. Also have a pit. Usually used towards the spawn, or should I say the heaven side. As you see it right now being depleted.
Spike planted.
Deployed as the Owl Drone also deployed from Derek. Looking for that Odin spray. But Les stays alive, full health and healthy. As the pit, it will also stay up.
Apoth.
Beautiful.
Clutch kill right there.
There's that ping, even a recon dart's available for Derek. There's that second ping. Recon goes towards the back. The spray towards Dice as Apoth wins that fight. Pit is still up as Les is trying to hold his ground behind his own pit.
Oh my God.
Running through. Apoth is there for the trade.
He held down W and mouse one and said, trade me. That's all they needed to do. This is how insane it is with the Odin, how much pressure they can create, and they come through Apoth with a huge kill on the flank there, pretty much help secure this round, because then they can get in with the Cypher ult and the Sova utility. It doesn't matter if you have the Viper's Pit there. And can we say they just denied a complete Rolling Thunder with a paranoia? They Rolling Thunder to get into the site, and Loud stood at A main entrance. They were stopped. That's crazy. EG is reading them like a book right now. 7-3 here from the defensive side. Double Odin up, back online.
Careful.
And it's a great call with that paranoia, because that paranoia also allowed Superman to TP on the top of bricks, and that was checked, allowing EG to really hold their ground, not allowing Loud to cross over. Bob continues to be equipped this time for Jogimo on the first layer of the bricks at A main. UCK giving his position away with the flash just to gain some space, fall back, and grab the ult.
Loud is, they just want those orbs now. They'll take a fight if it comes to them, but EG is going to just be kind of baiting that out. They've been pushing forward, getting in the face of Loud now, and now it's all quiet, forcing Loud to make the move. hearing those Odins. Striking fear into the heart.
The thing too for EG is when you're continuing to look at the setup for the Cypher, right, with this comp, look at where he's placing these trips. Not really too much towards the market, but let's hold that thought. Joggermo's looking for a play. Stops the ult from QCK and looks for seconds. Hit now by the Paranoia, updrafting away, Superman to save him by spraying behind from Dice into the smoke. Nature, meanwhile, pulled up his null command, not allowing Loud to add more utility for their initiation in the A site.
Here.
As things calms down,
30
it's
seconds left.
looking difficult here for Loud
Here.
to regain the space back in the A site. Attention comes down to this play on Tree. Tui's walking forward as the wall comes down on the attack, catching Nature off guard, but Nature able to survive, allowing Joggermo to push forward. Finally gets traded out. 10 seconds left on the clock. That trip hit by less. Superman with the third in a round. Wow. And EG is definitely looking clean now. He took a couple of rounds to warm up. You're definitely seeing a lot of clean
Last
shots here.
round before the switch.
Incredible to see what EG is putting on the server from last week to this week. There was slight desyncs and a few of the protocols. We're not even seeing any of that now. And the aggression from Joggermo, again, we said he felt online earlier with the way he's peaking. He's taking the entire fight by himself to start. You can say, you know, I might go down, doesn't matter. He is playing so effectively against the aggression that Loud wants to try.
I want to do it again. The recon dart into B link for a spray out from the link. The second one coming in from B main, but this time no contact. Loud stayed all the way back towards the spawn, waiting for that aggression coming out from EG to finally start activating outside of their spawn to gain position.
I mean, what can Loud do for this last round, right? They've tried to work mid a few times. They find Superman and Joggermo some. They try to work Cat. They find the Odin always of Nature. It seems like mid wants to be a bit of a look this time, but they're going to go back to A, walk the spike across here.
Nature's in a bad spot here, hit by the flash, but able to throw a molly down. QCK's around the corner.
Yeah.
Still has one more. Actually doesn't have any flashes himself. QCK got dropped by Superman as Lau was looking to look for an execution in the A site. Fault line finally pushes Nature's away. Here's the ult canceled out. Joggermo with the headshot on the Coward's with the Blade Storm, a second one up.
Oh my gosh.
These are quick rounds in the end for EG, but at the end of the day, it's always these trades where they come out on top.
Sides.
Absolutely ridiculous play coming out of EG on that first round. Let's see if they can bring the momentum onto the attack side.
And that said, we'll have to see what will happen here on that second half. But so far, again, it's all this position that we'd be talking about for EG, the aggression that comes out from either side. I mean, look at them being able to push out from B main. We'll have to talk about that Cypher later on, too. Hopefully, I'll have a chance to talk about it on the analyst desk as well at some point, but at least Loud is still all smiles.
Yeah, the way that Loud was not able to work the composition is a huge change, which shows you we got what we expected out of EG and that they came to counter.
And now let's toss it to Ender, where he's got some stuff to say on the Telestrator.
Let's preview Loud's next half of defense using a game that they've already played versus Sentinels. Loud's comp is all about being able to fight on 4 fronts, and there's 4 lanes that attackers can use on Ascent. First of all, you've got the solo selfish flashers of Phoenix and KO. You've got the Omen one-ways, that's 3. Then this poor little guy right here, Viper, needs some help, so you've got a fault line to be able to put him on the line. And Breach can move around the map, and especially from market, influence just about everything. So as you get into this round, they end up holding that fault line for just a little bit, because Loud need to step forward for information. There, they use the fault line, peek on with it, and look to break the Killjoy turret. But the entire idea is about putting down this Viper's Pit for stall. But what do Loud do when they are faced with some aggression? They fast rotate into the site. Let's zoom in on that one, because everyone is flooding out through CT. At the same time, Omen steps up in Tay. Reminder, to get information, they must move forward. That's exactly what they do on A in the majority of their rounds. The other interesting thing about how Loud like to play this B site is in past iterations of this team, last year, they would actually put down a Viper wall that allowed them to flood into the backside. Kind of went like that, and they could take that line in. Now they've got this powerful wall in mid, but because they're running the Phoenix, it allows them to throw that up right here from QCK. Check that out. He can flash to the wall, fight forward, or they can just flood into the backside. Previously, they played triple into backside, so Sentinels, they don't want to deal with that. They want to run away. But what are they doing? They're running straight into an Omen, lights out. Loud are going to play forward, and they're going to look to flood back in. EG must be ready.
Thank you so much, Ender. Indeed. They talk about the preparation on the analyst desk before going to this game. What will EG bring out in this game? So a nice little breakdown as how Loud played the defensive side against Sentinels. Will they run the same thing this time around, and can EG be ready for that?
And an even different wall as well here that splits the site even more for a retake from that C side that Ender was just talking about. Really cool stuff. So they aren't favoring the mid as much. Loud will now have to watch mid since they don't have that Sentinel, and Sadak's always wanted to do that. We know he'll do it on split, now on Ascent. They're gonna be pushing B though. That wall comes up. Oh my God.
Almost trying to get that trap play to allow Jogimo to get the kill into market. Superman moved forward, caught one off guard, but misses a shot. That might be it for him right there. The fall line hits him, he gets stunned out, and he gets dropped down. Meanwhile, the rest of EG trying to trade it back. Nature moving forward, but there's a lurk from APOC. Nice kill on to 2Es, but the other two has fallen down, leaving out Derek alone on a 3 versus 1. And again, catching players off guard, but when you miss those shots, it's easy for Loud to punish.
Really cool, like you said, going for a quick trap, trying to dive in and figure out who would be playing mid there. Wow, Sadak able to write that, drop Jogamo as he came flying through, and since nobody from EG can close that gap, they kind of discombobulated the strat overall, and we saw Loud taking over, pushing around as Ender said they would on the other extremities. So, how do they keep this going? Looks like we'll get those 0 points over towards A little bit of detection. Cowanzine playing that tree area so you can get fault lines on towards either side of the map. Yeah, a back and forth 0 point there. Oh my gosh, fans.
Just trying to move forward here to build on some all points. Sadak is able to get 1, 2Es falls. Meanwhile, everybody else from Loud closing in when Les won his duel against APOC towards B main. There's a double flank. Pretty much that happened. One on Cat, split off, the other one flanking from A main. Nature capitalizing on 1 kill, but no plants for EG for their second round.
Loud pretty clean there, only losing a few easy weapons to pick back up, so that's going to be really nice for the economy as they start off here. And I think one of the things we see a lot from Loud is that once they get on the defensive side, they just have such incredible decision making in the moment that makes you really can't think they can win a situation. They pull around, they back up, wait for a flank. Their patience is incredible, and I think that's what makes them so strong, is they know how much time they have to work with. Awesome little one-way on the light there. They set up for Cat. But yeah, Loud knows exactly how much time they have to work with, and I think that's one of the things that makes them so dangerous. Here we get into round 15. Just a 2-3 split. Trying to get some pop flashes around. A lot of times, once you get your KO on Cat, there's a lot of areas you can get a really nice flash to. Especially if Jogamo starts to head towards mid. Another wall from Loud. They keep switching it up. Definitely keeping EG guessing too. Gonna cover a bit of mid, but also make them weave into that A section of main to make it hard. We're getting down to a minute here, so EG's gonna have to consider Loud will start to anchor the sites a little bit more, and it's gonna be tougher to get them out.
And at the minute mark, look at the activation of Loud pushing out on the extremities, looking for a potential late flank once again. But Superman is waiting right here while EG now working the map. It's now up to Loud to try to find that information in the mid-round, and there's that first contact out in the open. Sadak gets caught, but manages to fall back on time. Cowanzine down to 24-2 as APOC push forward towards B main, giving a chance now for EG to pick up the spike, flood back within B, and go for this plant.
Really nice market flood. Fans, I could see this being something that EG does constantly. With no Sentinel utility here for Loud, they can mess with mid a lot of this game and give Loud trouble. Here, a full push through. We'll see the retake.
It's 1 for 1. Nice, beautiful double swing that comes out from Loud. Superman waiting for the first contact for the player on lane to throw out the paranoia out. Now the aftershock flushing out towards logs. Loud looking to move in any second now. Apoth hears a TP across, Joggable hiding in the smoke just at the bottom of the staircase, but Loud are just running in one by one. And with the clock ticking down on his spike, it's making it so difficult here for Loud to move in. Sadak's gonna be the last player staying with no bullets left in the chamber of the Stinger. And EG, they convert their gun round.
Jogamo almost getting another 4K there, stepping forward, ready to take the fight to Loud as they try to flood in. That was almost 3 of them towards Switch there as they were covering each other, trying to trade, but EG is still finding the openings in and finding the back of Loud, which is usually quite a hard thing to do. They trade hard. They're very good at anchoring each other's frags. And EG is just finding their way under Loud's skin here. Round 4, weapons on both sides. Not really any low armor to look at except for Nature and Sadak here. Bit of a different change. EG just puts the 3 members over towards the B side now. And another look from Loud. We've seen this wall before, able to cover Cat and lane side of B and stop that mid pressure a little bit that EG was just taking.
And they walk out for contact. Never expected it. Jogamo got denied right away, and there was no trade coming out. Owl drone, at least from Nature. Here's the footsteps of players running away inside market to B. But losing Jogamo early is going to hurt EG right now. QCK playing on the other side of Cat. Here's a weapon being dropped and picked up here for Nature to fall back, and still have to work this map here for EG. They have this protocol is still holding the extremities and using the middle for control.
And so many, EG's ready to take so many 1v1s. 1B main, 1A main. 2 members, however, trading in mid, but you just see how confident they are to push all extremities right now with this mid pressure happening.
Nature flashing out towards the spawn, even a recon dart to see if they can maybe start pushing towards the spawn. That's why we don't really see the smoke. Well, there you go. It finally comes out from M2. Out from Superman. And now we'll pivot EG now to try to work towards this B site, but the runways this time is on the staircase of the B site. Works out quite well. Apoth couldn't get the lurk in. And with 16 seconds left, it's really not giving any chances for EG to move through, yet they're still committing to it. Aftershock comes out, less supporting Kawadzin in the back of the B site. And that should be the name of the game. Save the last 2 if you can. They've already lost Nature, but Loud has a flawless in the end.
What a nice, you had to jinx it, didn't you?
Yeah, you know.
What a nice round from Loud, though. Honestly, we were saying that EG's confident. I was saying they're confident. They're pushing the sides. They're ready to take 1v1s. And Loud recognizes that a bit as well. EG's hot right now. You don't just peek corners against a team that's flowing like this. So Loud backs up into the site, causes EG to walk into a little bit more of the danger zone, and then they start collapsing on EG, which is not what EG has been presented with the first few rounds. Loud's been getting up in their face, losing the trades. EG has a better time getting into sight, and they don't have to use as much util there. Loud made EG work for it, and EG could not find the answer.
It almost feels like the script kind of flipped a bit here, because it's now Loud bringing the fight to EG on defense, where EG was really trying to go for the setup plays. Again, looking for that Cat control, being surprised by QCK, moving very slowly after losing Jogimo. Okay, we're just going to move and get our ones, but not really trying to do those funnies of sliding out, pushing through, double swings, going for the trades. And if you listen to those EG comms in that game against G2, Potter mentions that through her timeouts towards the end. Like, really try to work together, gas each other up, be confident, play to win, don't play to lose.
Get those vibes. Don't be bums.
Exactly.
They're bums, as Nature would say. The Loud fans ready to see a few rounds come back in their favor here. They do have Sadak's null command. Beautiful retake for a site there. Less just 1 off an orb if they can gain B main control. If we remember how much EG used that on defense to control the map and understand where Loud was going, we'll see if Loud starts to get themselves some main control to turn the map around. All right, we're in. Apoth's going to be on that side. A 4-1 split from EG. And yeah, they will. They start to pressure, even playing anti-flash in there. Kawadzin is ready with less. Oh my word.
Usually on these timeouts, you're trying to make plays. So Apoth is solo with this Guardian on the B site, where they're just waiting patiently to maybe flood towards this A site. But Apoth just got caught, just got dropped. And there's that jump peek from QCK, spotting the remaining roster of EG, holding towards the A site, controlling this orb, grabbing the Blade Storm for Jogamo.
This really allows Loud to just kind of solidify their members in a site. You get the peak mid from Kawadzin, so they don't get the lurk that EG has had a few rounds before. And they have all pretty much a retake utility now.
So they'll Molly, Paranoia, and allow the Blade Storm to come out. That gets instantly denied by Sadak with the null command on the top of heaven. So really, EG, all they could do right now is try to gain the space and try to get a plant. Superman with the hero rifle at the dice with this Vandal. Plant attempted. There's that flush of utility. Aftershock even baited out. EG looking for a second attempt, but flashes after flashes from
Spike's
Loud,
not
but
down.
Superman is there once again at the dice. Derek also gets a trade-off onto
30
Superman,
seconds
but
left.
here comes the lurk, the flank from QCK. The 1v1 towards the back, and Giacomo is ready for it. Now we have a 3 versus 1. Tui's alone, spotting that nature up towards that dice. Only the Blade Storm left alive, dropped! And it's a Sheriff from Derek, a 1v1 against Tui's here. Recon Dart. Tui's is gonna make noise, so Derek's gonna repivot now towards the back of the generator, swings out and gets tagged a bit by the Vandal. The drop out
7
from
in.
Tui's after, and Derek comes in with the headshot. Deflected from EG.
How crispy has this guy been since joining EG? Said, you know, I really didn't think I'd be playing for a team, and then I was playing some games at 6 a.m. and I got a message, so I had a cup of coffee and tried out. Well, it worked. It worked. Potter very happy she made that message that DM'd to Derek to get him on EG. Right there, we see one of the results. Feeling it.
There's that happiness.
Yep, there's that happiness. 11 to 6-2.
A little bit less there.
Night and day. You see the back and forth, the give and take right now. And right now, EG is taking 4 ultimates ready for them as they start this round. As again, pressure from Loud. They're trying to get a hold of the extremities to slow Evil Geniuses down and get a few more rounds back in their favor here on defense. Bless's ultimate could control B main, but don't know if they want to use it just yet because EG has been so confident at just taking another site when they have the chance. Drone up mid.
Hey, G continues to work this middle.
Yeah.
A couple of them got hit by a Paranoid coming out from the A main side. Now that's Superman moving forward, and they're looking for a trap play into tree, but Superman's gonna get caught as he swings out. Caster Bless, baby, but gets traded out by Tui's. There's that execution back towards the tree. The Hunter's Fury to try to flush out towards the A main, but Sadak was waiting towards the back of the spawn. Advantage still for Loud.
What a push here from Tui's. This could really be a big portion of the round if he's not detected. And now they have to look A main, so it's kind of fizzled out here of his push, but still could have a huge pincer movement once they get themselves into position. Let's see how big Apoth can sell what he's doing over at B.
Yeah, this is definitely where it gets
30
difficult for
seconds
EG.
left.
Now they have to make the move, and as they move slowly here, time is against them, and we're playing so passively for Loud. Off angles,
Oh my gosh.
out towards the spawn, a TP out towards B. This fake was sold.
They're gonna go back to A.
10 seconds left.
Oh my gosh, they get away, but that means that's another for sight. Apoth is gonna be able to get less, Vance.
Wait, but now he's pinned towards the B side while everybody else from
I
Loud
know
has pivoted
exactly
towards the
where
A
you
side.
are.
Beautiful hat here. That's going to help the 2 players remaining in the A side for EG. Nature and Derek have doing the work together. Apoth closing the gap, running for support. There's the aftershock coming out, and it's only Nature alone now as Derek is hiding for cover under the smoke towards Hell. The flank out from Apoth, but it's a 1-for-1. Derek in another opportunity to clutch, this time on a 2 versus 1. The tap on that spike first, looks for that spray. Now as the smoke dissipates, the defuse will come out.
What a round. Really cool back and forth from EG, but awesome use of utility by Loud to completely nullify if anybody could be under in Hell. They use the fragmentation grenade and a little bit extra damage with that aftershock, and they make sure nobody can be hiding underneath. Great use of utility to retake.
Yeah, hopefully we're gonna see it right here, but that Derek 2v1 clutch where he actually couldn't get that wallbang spray into the diffuser, that's the respect also that EG is giving to Loud, knowing that planning in those positions, the
Yep.
aftershock could flush them out, Molly's could flush them out,
Yeah.
and as they're inching towards the site, they wanted to be ready for that with the clock against them, so it's for them, it was to play it safe for EG, and playing it safe this time around as well. Apoth trying to walk over through this smoke, gets tapped down to 11 HP.
Push back, Loud playing very retake heavy here. It's just gonna be one inside jog.
The helicopter Bucky moves forward with Superman on the second kill at the Tui's. A lower buy from EG looking to get converted as Apoth is pushing forward. That 11 HP works wonders now for EG. Rolling Thunder out, Derek with the off angle. Les is alone, but Les manages to still get that kill on to Derek. 1 HP remaining. Jogimo still low on the buy, still with this Bucky. He's playing it close on that spike. First contact will potentially be Superman here. Unless Jogimo wants to swing out. There is that peek, and Jogimo swings out for the kill. EG are now at match point.
Absolutely blistering speed from EG on that last round. Like, Loud was trying to back up. We saw QCK take a reposition, and then Jogimo was on him. Literally on generator with him at the same time. Loud's gonna go ahead and call a timeout again here, as backs are against the wall for a final point. And yeah, just how quick they're behind enemy lines is throwing Loud for a loop, and that is not something we're used to seeing. You do not get behind Loud enemy lines very easily here at EG. Really, really solid with how they're running strategies, and Loud cannot seem to catch up at this point. 5 rounds to get themselves to an OT here. Maybe if they invest in the OT spray, possibility becomes greater. 1%, remember, for 100% for $1.
That's a steal.
It is. It really is. It's crazy valuation, though. They were wrong.
But this is their last time out for sure here for Loud. On this map, 5 chances for EG to close this off here, and you definitely saw off, these lower buys that EG keep converting this game against Loud puts them in a very difficult position. Once we move back in the game, you'll see there's not much money left on the board here for Loud to work with. So this is going to be the most crucial timeout for Loud to try to close this, because remember, this is the last timeout. So not only you have to fight for OT, you're going to have to try to win OT with none of these timeout chances left. Maybe working behind here, this Phoenix ult on the defense, maybe some sort of trap play. Tuis is there to set up on the A side too. Looks like we're pivoting differently now. It's like I'm working towards a tree.
Yeah, it's like Loud hasn't even been able to use Les's ult, really. They're just wondering what round it would be good and how would it affect EG, because it doesn't really seem like it will, right? EG just goes to the other site again so fast, so orchestrated. It would be tough to use it if you're not already making the retake happen. So let's see here. What can Nature call for the last round on Ascent against this Loud composition? They're still staying with the spike down to just get as much util out, drain this initiator retake. They're realizing that Loud's getting back in by having that freedom of utility that they can dump into the site just as if they were hitting from the attack side. So EG saying, give us all you got, and then we'll re-hit in a second.
Yeah, and the protocols of EG are there despite them at map point, knowing that the economy's low here for Loud. They're still using their due diligence and utility to even bring up the ult points as Derek grabs that orb. APOC now moving forward, the Outlaw connecting onto Les. The lurk play coming out from EG once again capitalized. Underhand flash as APOC is trying to tap on that spike. Sees now that the judge is towards the B site. That might be the opener now for EG to execute an A. Paranoia and a knife. They realize now that the site's open.
30 seconds left.
Going for that clean plant now for A main.
Yeah, fully in sight. So still retake here gonna happen from Loud. 0 point gives them an idea, but a lot of this lower hell utility is already being used.
Run it back now. Derek with the lineup. Cancels the run it back, even gets a kill on top of that. Swinging back and forth, spots 2 players, the last 2 of Loud, up towards the tree. Smoke being thrown, Jogimo and Nature with the last 2 kills. EG upsetting Loud on Ascent.
What a match from Evil Geniuses. Incredible stuff that they're able to bring to the table here, and having to fix quite a few things in the protocol area, they did from last week. If we remember, during the cast of Sentinels versus Loud, a message came up in that chat box from one of the players that said, what was it? Oh my God, this util is insane.